Do business coaches actually produce results? The answer is no, because one of our favorite business coaches hasn't arrived. I'm Dr. Christopher Vogelmann here in the Marketing Happy Hour, our weekly program. We sometimes call it the Hump Day.
We do.
Marketing Happy Hour, where we discuss all things relative to extending your message and amplifying your reach. Okay, also Strategic Video Masters, which is our brand new membership group where we teach people how to create and repurpose videos for a wide variety of purposes. And with me, as always, is my trusty co-host, the guy we like the most, John Paduchak.
Here I am, and I show up.
And you show up. Because showing up is the main thing you have to do.
It's very important. Very important to show up.
It
And
is
that's what
important.
coaching is all about, accountability.
Yeah, accountability. So we are the accountability buddies to our co-host who has yet to show. Maybe he got mad at me because I put that picture of him in Mexico. Remember that little dealio?
No, I don't know.
You don't know that one? Yeah. Exactly. All right, so I'm going over here. I just want to make sure that we got all our ducks in a row.
I always got a duck. Grew up on a farm, you know.
We're good. Did you have ducks on your farm?
We did. Yeah, we had a lot of ducks.
I know you rode around in a tractor.
I did. I even got photos of me. We'll have to put that up someday.
Is that the law of a tractor?
Law of a track.
A tractor? The law of a tractor.
Yes.
The law of a tractor. Okay, so we started all this because John and I have both been, I was going to say the victims of various coaches. Let's just put it that both of us have been exposed to a number of different coaches, both in the online and offline world, with mixed results. And I think the thing that, what would you say the thing that we were looking for the most with respect to a coach? Not just the information, but what?
Well, I think you're always looking for somebody to simplify the process, to help you over the hurdles that they've gone through themselves so that you don't make the same mistakes that they did.
Exactly.
You're always kind of looking for that person who can take you that extra mile in the direction you want to go.
Well, it's the accountability thing. I remember when I was when I had a personal trainer years ago, in my office in the Washington, D.C. area. One of the ways like my staff got me out of the office was to have me sign up with a personal trainer. So I had to be there exactly at 7:30 in the evening after a full day of patients. And it worked for me because I was always accountable to this young lady. And in fact, she even got me to the point where actually before we even started the whole gym visits, we wound up with like 3 or 4 days of just mindset stuff. Preparing to go into a gym where you're going to see these, mega Hulk, almost Schwarzenegger type people and not feel bad about being there.
That's right. Because you may never be there.
I mean, I'm not going to be
I'm pretty sure I'd never be there.
I'm certainly not going to turn green and be angry.
No,
so that wasn't going to happen. So, but I think the main thing is, as you mentioned, helping you to avoid the same mistakes that they had made. And so it's the shortcuts to success.
Yes. You want to speed along the process.
Yeah. Get speedy, baby. Arriba. So with respect to that, what would you say are the essential elements when you're trying to choose a coach? I have my own opinions, but I know we all have opinions. So.
Yeah, I think doing it again, I look for recommendations from other people because I don't want to make the same mistake twice.
Right.
I think, I'm always looking for the person who can take me to that level that I'm looking to go in. Somebody that's relatable to me, and somebody worthy of modeling.
That's a hugely important
big one for me.
Worthy of modeling. Yeah. So with the know, like, and trust factor, 9 times out of 10, you're going to want a coach who you feel comfortable with. You kind of you have a rapport with them. You get their vibe, and they get you. Yep. And of course, mentioned all the stuff about the expertise and the methodology and that type of thing. I think a lot of times too, you're looking for somebody who can provide you with some sort of structure or system where you can actually put all your ducks in a row and then publish them through social media or through YouTube or through your email lists, whatever it is. And you don't have to have a coach who will dictate to you every single step, but at least they can provide you some strategies and tactics
Hmm.
relative to what your thing is that'll help you get your message out
Right.
and convert those messages and conversations into sales.
Hmm. And to me, like I said, the worthy of modeling part was important to me.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I was really looking for someone to kind of help me streamline and simplify.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple of friends who were coaches a few levels above me, and I said, they really they walk their talk. I could see how they simplified their businesses, and they had parts of their business definitely worth modeling.
Do you have a cat that's snoring or moaning?
Yeah, she lay down next to me, and so she's snoring next to me.
She's snoring next to you.
I'm sorry,
Well,
snoring
it's
cat.
it's the hump day happy hour with little kitty.
I was kind of hoping you wouldn't hear her, but she is
Your computer microphone is excellent.
kind of loud. Yeah.
It's one way of testing your mic. Put a snoring cat next to you.
Do I need to move or
No, it's not a
pick
catastrophe.
her up or?
It's not a cat catastrophe. So pick her up and throw her around. Give her a cameo. Why don't you? While we're at it.
Yes.
Almost sounds like she's talking in her sleep. That's
Kind of. It's kind of funny, really. Yeah. So anyhow,
well, it adds a special flavor and lets you know that imperfect action, which is what all of our coaches have
we are
talked
human.
about, is an essential element. Yes,
The human element.
the human element. Did we scare Dr. Kayvon K away
I don't know what happened.
with this topic?
I don't know.
Maybe he has a power failure, or his internet is out.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen with technology these days. Yeah, anything can happen, can and will happen. Which reminds me, I think one of the most important elements in choosing a coach is probably how good are they at helping you get unstuck.
Yeah, track record is important.
Yeah, track record. Have they produced results for other people?
Yeah.
And if they're relatively new, are you willing to trust them because you know they have a tremendous amount of experience?
Yes.
Because that happens too. I've had a couple of coaches who were probably only 2 years in the coaching business who were phenomenal. And I've had some others who were maybe doing coaching for 20 years, charged me more and delivered a lot less.
A lot less.
Yeah.
We
know these people.
Phenomenal. Yes.
It's capitalism, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so the other thing that I was going to say about this that I think is kind of fascinating is the type of coaching that they do and the resources that they supply. So, like for instance, I've been through kind of traditional coaching where you have like longer sessions, 30 minutes to an hour, and I've also or less. Maybe it's even like 20 minutes, just really hyper focused.
I know some people do 15 minutes.
Yeah. And in fact, the consulting coaching that I've been doing, I actually changed to that model because I really liked the effect of the laser coaching. Being able to come and get a quick result, or you've got a quick. It's really kind of that we talk about a lot with micro courses. It's that really focused one problem, one solution. You come to me with your problem, and we're going to give you a quick solution, and you come back to me done, homework finished before your next session.
And if they don't,
then we try to figure out why they went off track and help them, to be able to come back for their next session, because that's kind of important. And that's the thing that I like about that. One of the things that often surprised me is, we've got a lot of friends that are coaches. One of my friends told me a number of years ago, we were talking, he goes, I can't tell you the number of people that pay me $5,000 a year for coaching, and I've never seen their face. And that is a lot of money to pay to not see somebody ever. It's like you just dropped a big 5 spot on them and never seen them again.
I think that really comes from the notion, the dopamine hit that you get from buying something, and the misconception that we sometimes have in our heads that if I buy this program that's going to give me the ticket to Easy Street or give me the "that's what was easy" button.
I'm gonna absorb all this information overnight
Oh
and
yeah,
be
and
a genius.
if I stick it under my pillow, I'll wake up the
It
next
doesn't
morning.
work that way. In
No,
reality, you got to do the work.
I tried it. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
I did too. It didn't work,
It's
but
sad.
yeah,
But it's the same thing with gym memberships. And we see this
yes,
with continuity programs, gym memberships.
same thing.
People buy the gym membership in like maybe right about now. They didn't quite get their whole New Year's resolution diet getting fit for 2022 and done. And
Exactly.
so right about now they're getting, I think it is the first week in February is often busier than
Pretty
even
much.
weeks in January. And they get that thing going in there. And it's almost like, I've got this little membership card. And so this means it's almost like I have immunity now from
Yep.
fat. I will not get belly fat because I've got this little card in my hand.
And then it's about the middle to end of February that most people quit.
Yeah,
And
they all quit.
yeah,
And so,
I'm done with this. This is too much.
but the same sort of thing is true in business coaching. You have to have a way of if you're selecting a business coach, you want to have accountability.
Yes.
And it's I think it has to do more with that type of laser coaching that you're talking about. Here's a task, let's get it done and let's report back.
Yeah.
Here's a task, let's get it done, then report back. And it's this rinse and repeat rather than overwhelming somebody, because that's what happens with a lot of courses too. They're suddenly dumping 30 days worth of material. I mean 30 days worth of material, 5 hours a day videos and all this other stuff. And you open up the portal to the course and you're just overwhelmed and you shut it back down again, never to visit again. And that's why when it comes to online courses, was it Frank Kern? I think so. He said, you've got to be happy. You have to be happy or at least comfortable, not happy, but comfortable with the idea that 85% of the people may never open your course. Not so much open, but never complete your course, I should say.
Yeah. And I think it's important, or I think it's a bit of the coach's obligation to not overwhelm people.
Yeah.
So one of the things that happened to me in a laser coaching session with one of my coaches is he gave me a little too much to do, and I couldn't, or I wasn't quite sure how to finish it. Or then you kind of go, okay, where do I go with this? How am I going to go back?
So speaking of going back, let's go back to our original question, which is, do business coaches actually produce results? And I maintain the answer is no.
Right. They don't always.
Because you have to produce the result.
Because you have to produce the result. Yeah. Most of the onus is on you, although they have to guide you and do that. I mean, we both have a job on both sides,
Well, and you have to be receptive to their suggestions.
You do.
Because, as they say in various philosophies and religions, you can't give a gift to somebody if they have a closed fist. They have to have an open palm.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be willing to receive and actually take action from a business coach or a life coach or any other, even a health coach.
Sure. And then that's where I think, like I said, it's important to find one that's worthy of modeling, because you kind of know already, hey, I looked at this guy's stuff. He's, everything, he practices what he preaches, or she, as the case may be. And, I think that's really important in choosing the right coach to get started with.
Well, and the other thing is, if you have a business coach, you don't necessarily need to model them completely so that you yourself become a business coach.
Right.
I think that's the mistake some people make. And I've made that mistake in the past too, where I would try to do exactly what somebody else was doing. For example, practice management. And the irony was that I really didn't care to do practice management, but all of the information and experience that I've gathered over the last couple decades has still provided me with a lot of experience and expertise that I can transfer to somebody else, even though I don't necessarily want to be specifically a dental practice management expert or chiropractic practice management expert.
Right.
It's just like your thinking and your ability to apply different tools can work in any arena that you choose. I mean, if you choose to do e-commerce, that's something that you can do. But many people, as I said before, they'll try to do exactly what the other person does, and it comes off as very artificial and kind of stale, actually.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to say, when you're kind of looking for the right person to coach you along, I think it's important to really kind of try a few of their things out before you buy. Like for instance, it's very common for us to pick up, small products from a particular coach that we might want to use just to see their style or get an idea of their style and what they include in some of their smaller works, because that gives you an idea of what they're going to do, when you actually work with them.
Well, and challenges are like that too.
Yep.
Like we've done a couple challenges. You're doing we did our 5-day short video challenge, which we called 15 Seconds to Success. That's the
Exactly.
copywriter in me coming out. And but because short videos are all the rage now, and people consume content in less than bite-sized pieces. These are like morsels, tiny morsels of content.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, we had a great little cohort, a great little group of people, and a number of them then took us up on the opportunity to join our membership group, which we have. Did I write it down there? Yes, Strategic Video Masters, which unfortunately is closed right now, but we'll probably open up again, I think in the spring. It might be March or early April, somewhere in that range. And we'll do another challenge prior to that too.
Yes.
So, but right now we're fine tuning things and making things a little more customized to our first group of members that have come through, and they are actually the lucky ones because they're the ones who get to determine what the whole membership group is going to look like.
Yeah.
What they ask for, we deliver.
Exactly. So that's kind of fun. That's customized coaching.
Well, customized group coaching. I mean, one-on-one has its limits in terms of it. I mean, but if you do have a coach who's able to deal with you one-on-one, I mean, it's going to be at a much higher price point, of course.
Of course.
But you will most likely get superior results because they'll ask you tons and tons of questions and know more about you in a one-on-one interaction than they can possibly gain from a group interaction, unless you're filling out tons of reports. Dear diary, today I ran my first Facebook ad and here were the results. So,
and I do like the group coaching because I find a lot of times I learn stuff by the questions other people ask. They may ask something I wasn't thinking of, and but I was like, oh yeah, I'd really like to know the answer to that myself.
Well, and that's the beauty. We refer to it as side coaching.
Yes.
Somebody else has a problem, they ask a question, a solution is provided, and you have new insights, or they might have answered the question that you were too afraid to ask or couldn't get in quickly enough to ask. So.
Right. And oftentimes too, you get some great input from other people in the group. You make other friends with people in the group coaching. So,
yeah, like in the comment sections. That's how we.
I don't know anybody does that.
We got you don't know. I am guilty of being the hyper commenter.
Yes, you are a hyper
commenter. So I'll be doing all kinds of things in the comment section, but it is a way when you're acknowledging people and their success and congratulating them and all the other things. It's a way of building rapport just in a comment section.
I'm guilty of making fun of you in the comment section.
And they make fun of me in the comments. That's fine. I mean, like, for example, I got somebody today said, what was it? They said, your Buffalo Bills haven't won a single Super Bowl, Grandpa. I wanted to come back and say, well, I've never been fortunate enough to become a grandfather, but God bless you, little one, and then walk away from it. So. Well, the thing is that you can we've talked about this too when we do our coaching program.
Coaching and trolling.
Yeah, you want to roll with it. You want to be able to either ignore bad comments or respond to them, kill them with kindness, or you can delete them and block them, as somebody we know prefers to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Them and block them. I don't know who that is.
I don't know either. You're a block and tackle. So.
I'm kind of both sides of the coin. Sometimes I delete and block them. Sometimes not so much. It just depends.
Heads or tails.
It depends. It depends on my mood at the moment. Actually, is kind of
the edge of the coin. It rolls.
Kind of the way it goes. I had another good one today. I'll roast. This is kind of my typical one. Somebody friends me up and says, starts to sell me solo ads, which I totally love. And of course, I used to be friends with I still am friends with a lot of people who are big solo ad producers. And I think some of them are the people that they sell solo ads for. So it gets fascinating. But anyways, first thing, bam, solo ads.
So
anyway.
Do business coaches actually produce results?
Do they actually produce results? No, we have to produce the results. Working with a business
damn
coach.
business coach.
I know. But yes, they do provide the shortcuts. They do provide the insight so that you get better results, faster results.
I
And
think clarifying your vision, coming up with a strategy, and organizing your thoughts and your content into something that is almost like a machine where
yeah,
things you get more and more automation. I think when you have somebody who helps you get automated, that goes a great length to helping to ensure your success.
indeed it does.
And it could be email automations. It could be automatic social posting, which is something that we do in our Epic Win agency, which is the joint agency that John and I have put together. These are the things, when you add automation, it enables you to be more creative, to do the things that you love to do the teaching, to do the coaching, and not have to worry about the repurposing and distribution of your content. So
Yeah, and it's a good time for automation too, with all of the new AI tools and stuff that we have. It's great to be um, able to focus in more on people and not have to focus on the stuff.
it's good to be the king.
Kind of, yeah. Always good to be king.
The king of your own kingdom. So we're going to keep this short today, in part because we're missing Dr. Kayvon K.
Dr. Kayvon K.
Dr. Kayvon K, which is
Dr. Kayvon K.
it's not okay to not show up, Dr. K.
I wonder what happened. Something
I think he spent way too much time in Mexico, and he's got this sort of mañana. I think
complex.
he's probably operating on Mexican Standard Time now.
That's what I call it. The
He'll
manana.
show up. He'll show up in about an hour or two.
Probably.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Right.
Hey, any final comments on this? This is one of our shorter ones, which I'm fine with because
That's no, I can't really think of anything too much. I mean, I think the things that we talked about that are most key, like I said, find someone that walks their talk, is worthy of modeling, shows and highlights the things that you're looking to improve in your business. I think that's super key. And referrals from other people. Make sure they're not slackers, because I've had that happen. Even people that folks told me they thought were great coaches ended up not being so great in the end. So you just never know.
I concur, but we're not naming names.
We're not naming.
We're not naming names.
We know some of the same people, but we're not naming names.
We know who you are.
And we got your number.
Actually, I do. Come to think of it, do I delete that? I guess I don't. I'm not going
to. Yeah, ask for lots of recommendations from friends, and then really dig in and look at the people that you're looking at.
It's helpful to, and it's good to find people who are generally helpful, even when you're not enrolled in their program.
Right. That's very, very true. And some people are just amazing at what they do. I know a couple people that went to friends of mine and asked them to coach them to improve their passive income, which is something that I'm very passionate about. And
you're not very passive about it.
Not very passive, but very passionate about
passionate.
And not very passive about passive income. But well, anyways, that's another story. But very well respected, very well known, and they did a great job. And people rave about them, talk about them all the time. And some very well known, they coached some very well known people, which really had surprised me. So that kind of thread leaves a lot of clues.
Well, also you find a lot of business coaches who they're like background singers for a very famous vocalist.
Sometimes.
They're in the background doing all the stuff, the technical stuff and things that make the person up front look great.
Exactly.
And those people do become coaches. And so you should always be on the lookout for them, because they know the technology, the tactics, and the real truth behind what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that's good to think about, like I know a couple friends of mine, I coached them through some stuff, and one of my friends were just talking about some different things. He goes, "I think you probably made me an extra $10,000 this year in just a few minutes." And I think those are the things you want to listen to, hear other people say. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, I really got this from so and so, and this is what I think I'll get out of it. I'm going to see additional income, an additional income stream, that kind of incremental growth is what you really want to pay attention to. What people say about, oh, that person helped me to get to this or that. I really make note of those things. So those are my tips.
Well, and we see that also with what was it, like the Steal Our Winners thing that we belong to, which
Steal
is
Our Profits.
a Steal,
Winners.
Steal Our Profits. Is your take on it?
That's what they
But it's the type of thing where a lot of people who are business coaches will give great information, but the vast majority of people never apply the information.
Or they don't know how to apply it.
Right. And they may need extra hand holding. I think that's,
right.
When we talk about accountability, it's a fancy word for, hey, can you hold my hand while you guide me through this thick, nasty, uncertain forest of digital marketing and online business?
In fact, that's a really good point. A lot of coaches, are very specialist in different areas. Like I love the application stuff. And so I'd find ways to take the Rich Schefren stuff and implement that. But a lot of people aren't. They focus on the accountability side of coaching. So it's important to really know the coach or type of coach you're looking for. Are you looking for somebody to help you implement these pieces? Are you looking for somebody to do stuff for you or with you? Or do you want somebody who's just going to be guiding you your accountability guy or gal to keep you on track?
Well, that's true. And I think also it is finding a coach who's going to ask the right questions of you so that you can refine what your vision, your values, and what your overall strategy is going to be, as opposed to just taking what you say at face value. I think it's always important. I mean, I've had people who were coaches and mentors, and I would just blurt out something to them and they would take that and run with it, as opposed to questioning, are you sure that you want to do that? What about this? What about that? And I think one of the things I also like about finding the right coach is when they give you the opportunity and they have you answer lots and lots of little questions in the written word. That gives the coach a basis from which to work and to ask further questions, and then to help, as you say, refine the whole process and refine your whole system that you're going to have in your business.
A lot of coaching too is realizing your own problem or realizing your own challenge. And a great coach will ask you the right questions to help you identify it, as opposed to just coming out and saying, hey, you're not doing X, Y, Z. And you're like, they're going to bring that out of you. So you all of a sudden have that light bulb moment. And that's the sign of a good coach. Somebody who really pulls that out of you.
It's those Socratic know thyself moments.
Yeah.
And I think the more you know yourself, the more you show up legitimately as yourself, your true self, and not trying to hide under some professional veneer, the more likely it is for people to build rapport with you. And as a result, you can guide them toward solving their problems.
Or as I like to say, sit into who you truly are.
Sit into who
I might crush into who you truly are.
I might crush myself.
Yes.
All right. So
there you have it.
With that in mind, I'm not crushing anything. Hey, we know that most of you will be watching this on replay, so I'm going to do the hashtag thing, even though John says I'm doing something bad in American Sign Language.
I think so. I'm not sure.
I don't believe you.
American Sign Language. Let us know.
I don't believe you. I know this. Do you know what this is?
Do
you know what this is?
Don't want to know.
You know what this is? This is frustration.
Oh, perfect. I got a lot of that.
One of my hearing impaired patients taught me frustration because she was frustrated. All right. So we want to end your frustrations when it comes to marketing, delivering your message, and having greater impact. So tune in next week to the Marketing Happy Hour, same bat time, same bat channel, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and everywhere in between. And who knows, maybe Dr. Kayvon K will show up next week. Tune in to find out.
I bet he will. I'm rooting for him.
You're rooting for him. Okay. Dr. K, we still think you're okay.